tell me, what's it like playing on the dark side? How much fun is it?
It was really fun, really insane to like be here experiencing this. I could not have imagined that this is what it would be.
So tell me about, you've talked about this, how they're trying to help you prepare for this backlash, and there are people out there who say some really awful things. Have you spoken to someone like John Boyega and said, how do I handle it?
You know, they've been really great about connecting me with the people who've like been through this. I haven't necessarily reached out. You know what I mean? It's weird, you know? So I think for right now, the course of action for me has just been to mind my eyes so I can check my mouth and, you know, call it a day, I guess.
We've got Star Wars actors, Mose Ingram. She's playing one of the villains of these new Star Wars films. And as you can see, she's a black woman there. And we've seen this in the past. People had an issue with her casting in this role. I guess they just don't want to see her there. So this whole thing fell out. Let's look at some of the details here, because on her Instagram, she received all this racist backlash and pushback and accusations of her being a diversity hire, because that makes sense somehow when you're an actor and you're playing a role that works. So she posted some of those things that she's received. And she also took to her Instagram story to even talk about it specifically. Let's watch her response.
Sure. There are hundreds of those. Hundreds. And I also see those of you out there who put on a cape for me. And that really does mean the world to me, because there's nothing anybody can do to stop this hate. And so I question what my purpose is, and even being here in front of you saying that this is happening, I don't really know. But I think the thing that bothers me is that, like, sort of this feeling that I've had inside of myself, which no one has told me, but this feeling of like, I just gotta shut up and take it. You know, I just kind of gotta bear it. And I'm not built like that. So I really just wanted to come on, I think, and say thank you to the people who show up for me in the comments and the places that I'm not gonna put myself. And to the rest of y'all weird.
Thank you, Moses Ingram, because also the Star Wars Twitter account also backed her up. It's good to see that they're not just staying silent on this. And they said, we're proud to welcome Moses Ingram to the Star Wars family and excited for Reva's story to unfold. If anyone intends to make her feel in any way uncomfortable, we have only one thing to say: we resist. It's a Star Wars thing. And also, there are more than 20 million sentient species in the Star Wars galaxy. Don't choose to be a racist. We've seen this before. I'd mentioned yesterday the black stormtrooper that was the rogue guy, the actor that played him, British actor that played him, and all the pushback that he got and how he got very upset about it. And as she said there, I'm not built that way. I like that. None of them are. What are some of your thoughts on this? First of all, Was?
You know, I do have a lot of thoughts about this in the sense that because of the industry that I work in, which is sports, like the people who consume my content tend to be on the more conservative side, to be honest. And I have gotten, a decent amount. It's not gonna be to the level of a Star Wars actress, obviously, but I've gotten a decent amount of backlash, if you will, from certain people who think I don't, I'm bad at my job, or I don't deserve it. I'm just a diversity hire. And to be honest, man, there's times where I've been upset or whatever, and I've wanted to lash out by, talking about how ugly the guy's mom is or something like that online. But I just used the mute button, and you remember that, like, to be honest, like the positive feedback usually overwhelmingly overwhelms the negative. And I'm also reminded, and I'm very quick with the mute button, especially on Twitter. And I'm also reminded of something that Tyler, the Creator, once tweeted, which was, how are you gonna be bullied online when you could just log off? So I'm always reminded of that too. We can just put our phones down and live in the real world with our people who love us and support us.
So yeah, no, you can always, you can always get away from it. It's just the simplicity of how we feel like we have to be connected to that stuff at all times. And people think that once they start yelling at someone, as they did with Moses here, that she has to just take it. And I'm glad she has the platform and the energy to respond back. And then now I hope she uses that mute button and moves on with her career, because I'm looking for more from her. So glad to see it. By the way, the other actor was John Boyega. Sorry to forget his name there. For Boyega. I'm sorry to forget his name earlier there. But he went through a lot of this as well.